the very no, it's a very Norwegian name though, so I get
I
how it's hard.
I cheated. I used an online pronunciation tool, and
Okay,
I recorded the intro for this yesterday.
okay.
So I kept using the I kept like playing it, saying, right, this is who I'm interviewing.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
And I'm
Cool.
going to work on saying the name. So the hard work's paid off.
Yeah, but it's pretty good. I'm impressed.
Cool. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Mm,
So look, I am going to be 100% honest with you.
yeah.
Um, as of probably as of about 2 a.m. UK time Saturday morning, I had never heard of Rat Lord, and I'd definitely had never heard of Blood Command.
No.
And I was I couldn't sleep. I don't think you could either because we were messaging all through the night.
Yeah.
Um, it's weird the amount of creatives that I know, and like sleep's just
Yeah,
optional.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The first thing
So
that goes out the window.
yeah, exactly. So I'm on Spotify and I'm going through all of like that week's releases, which is I'm sure you can appreciate is like thousands. So I'm like scrolling through, and I've got to the stage where just by looking at a band name and the song title, I know what it's going to sound like. No, I'm not listening. You're not getting this. And I'm like Rat Lord and the old school hardcover, the old school hardcore cover. I
Yeah.
was just like, right, there's something about this. And I played the whole album, and it just absolutely blew me away. It took me, and despite the various genres that are referenced to your music, for me, it's proper old school hardcore with
Thanks.
blast beats occasionally. With
Thanks. Pretty spot on, I think.
good, good. Um, I just loved it. I mean, I'm 54, and so I go right back to like when the Dead Kennedys were still together and all
Oh,
that.
fuck yeah.
And yeah, and my earliest musical memories, and I like had this feeling of nostalgia. It was great because I thought this is wonderful. I found like a proper new band, and it was bad because I thought I'm never gonna fucking sleep now. I absolutely loved it. A 15-minute album, also where two tracks are 3 minutes long each. So
Yeah.
you're down to 9 minutes for nine songs.
Yeah.
Just like a breath of fresh air, and I just absolutely loved it. Then went back, first album, loved that as well.
Thanks.
Then I was like, right, okay, I'm going to dip my toes into. The following day, I managed to get a few hours sleep, and we were. So the weird thing is, after I played the whole album, I was just like, I got to find these guys on Instagram. I'm on there, and I'm like, go, I'll just shoot them a message, and whatever. You know what it's like in this industry.
Yeah,
What you don't
yeah,
ask
yeah.
for, you don't get.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad you did though.
Cool, me too, because I heard straight back from you, which I wasn't expecting because it was late, and
Yeah,
even later where you are.
yeah.
And then that was it, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. So the following morning, yesterday morning, um, I thought, right, I'm going to dip my toes into Blood Command, which with the latest album, which again that blew me away. I was just like, God, this is amazing, absolutely amazing. But also because I'm so into my music and all the rest of it, and have been for many years, it's I kind of like, and I don't know if you'd be familiar with this, but I kind of felt a bit embarrassed at the fact that you'd been around for so long and not on my radar. I was like, do you know what? I've fucked up here.
No, it's you can check out everything. It's a lot of music out there. So,
Yeah, there
but
is.
I also have a lot of bands that like I just started listening to that I've been and I've also been hearing their name for years. But some bands you just don't know, probably not for me. But
Yeah,
there is a lot of cool bands out there, obviously.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, and also there's always that mystery band as well, like the band that you like one album and like you
Yeah,
don't like the stuff before it, and then
yeah,
you listen to
yeah,
the releases after that and nothing quite hits the mark like that one album, and yet
yeah,
you could
yeah,
go, but every time they put a new album out, you're like, maybe this time.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yes. Yeah, I have a,
I got
yeah,
I got so many bands like that.
yeah, same. You
Yeah,
try to give them that one extra chance. Okay, I give you one more chance, and they
yeah.
always fuck up every
Yeah,
time.
yeah, absolutely. It's like, no, it turns out it's that one album. It's like we crossed, like, like ships in the night. We crossed that one album and then we
Yeah,
just go
yeah,
our
yeah,
separate
yeah.
ways and
So
continue
much,
to do so.
so many factors to be counted in there. Like it could be this one producer, maybe, or that one situation that triggered and everything. So
Yeah. Also,
so many
it's
variables.
yeah, and at time of life on both sides. They
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that album might find you at a particular time where a number of the songs resonate with you
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and that's it. But anyway, look, listening to Blood Command, I was like, right, okay, putting myself in your shoes, having heard Rat Lord first,
Yeah.
I could I could then listen to Blood Command and go, right, now I know why Rat Lord exists.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of like it's you completely unfiltered, isn't it?
Yeah, it's me getting to let out all my ideas, not just some of them.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's great being a part of a band and a musical collective and everybody working together,
Mm.
but it's also it's also a lesson in compromise, like all the time.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
So it's good to have an outlet where it's just I do whatever I want, kind of. And
yeah,
also, like Blood Command is my day job, so it's fun to do a band where you don't have to think so much about how. Not that Blood Command does that so much either, but even less I have to think about. Okay, what is the listeners gonna think? What is the industry gonna think? You know,
yeah.
because Ratload is not exactly the biggest band in the world, so I don't have to think so much about how people gonna perceive it, and I can just do it. It's no problem.
I just love the look and feel of Rat Lord. To me, it's like an online demo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of the
Like
vibe we
like
want.
yeah, the old like tape trading shit. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
it really brings it back.
yeah,
And especially the first album being called This Is Not an Album. It's like, yeah,
yeah.
okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I get
So
it.
yeah, cool.
Yeah, yeah, very cool, very cool. So you got some? Have you got some? Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Then I look at Blood Command and I see that you played Arctangent, which is in London, which is where which is where I live. And
Okay.
so not only have I spent years missing you, I could have seen you live like a couple of weekends ago.
Yeah, we played UK 3 times this summer.
Oh man,
Played
really?
2003's Arctangent and Radar.
Right.
So yeah, been the
Okay.
fun.
Well, look, tell me when you're coming. Tell me when you're
Yeah,
coming again,
yeah,
because I'll
yeah,
definitely be there.
yeah.
But yeah, it's. Do you think also Rat Lord being something other than your day job?
Mm,
Sometimes the inevitable feelings of other band members can be, but that's music that we could be using, or
yeah,
or it's like you're putting your creative energies into something that isn't the collective.
yeah,
So but I kind of think this is a prime example of how it does work. I mean, I found Blood Command through Rat Lord. It's
yeah,
like it's all good, and I think it's also about everybody remaining happy and feeling like they're creatively, getting to do what they really want.
yeah. Well, I think this is. I hope I don't come off too cocky now. But there's a special situation because I create all the music in Blood Command too. So this is and I do it in other bands as well, other projects. I'm involved with a lot of projects and I also produce some bands. And then in those bands too, I use my creative skills kind of help them with some choruses and help them with some vocal lines and stuff. And I guess all of that could be used in Blood Command. but I I kind of divide the stuff up, so nothing really suffers from it, you know.
Yeah,
I like,
yeah,
of course, many of these songs could be used in Blood Command, but I have so many other new Blood Command songs that it should be Blood Command before these, you know.
yeah.
So I don't think that's a real problem.
There's such different projects.
Yeah,
And I had to bring this up because again, it really impressed me. The song "No Gods, No Masters," or is it "No Dogs, No
no dogs,
Masters"?
no
Yeah,
masters. Yeah.
yeah. That
I'm okay.
song's 50.
Yeah.
That song's 50 seconds, and you managed to get you managed to get a three chorus song in 50 seconds. It's like, man, I'm fucking jealous. That's a serious achievement.
Thanks.
It is. To some
Thanks.
people, to some
Yeah,
bands, that's a middle eight, you know.
yeah,
Um, is there a was there a particular or is there a particular um goal to keep songs short? With obviously there's a couple of exceptions, but is that kind of like, is that a thing when you're working on it?
yeah. I think because that's one of the trademarks in many grindcore bands is that the songs is so insanely short, and some old hardcore bands too.
Hmm.
So kind of, what I like when you get to the point really fast, because you can make a full song in 1 minute that's worth as much as a 4 minute song. If you ask
Yeah,
me, you can get all your points across in that 1 minute. But I'm not tied down to doing just that. We're probably gonna do some more 3 minute mark songs, but we're never gonna stop doing the under 1 minute thing. Because
yeah.
that is a big part of it. The short songs and the dumb song titles. It's a big part of the package.
Yeah, and the sense of humor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm the only punk in the village.
Yeah.
There's some British humor in there
Yeah,
if I'm not wrong.
there is. Yeah, there's a sample from that show, Little Britain,
Yes.
and we also have added it in when Johnny Rotten says "Pong."
Right. Okay. Yeah. It's
Yes.
it's a chance to I guess as well with Rat Lord, it's a chance to have fun. Not that Blood Command, not that a day job isn't fun, and you certainly have a sense of humor that permeates the music in Blood Command as well.
Yeah.
But Rat Lord again, it's just it's less filtered.
Yeah. Less filtered, less compromises.
Yeah, yeah. Although I mean, Blood Command doesn't, I can see where you have short songs and slightly longer songs with Rat Lord. With
Mm.
Blood Command, it's you have some songs which are again like quite quite hardcore esque,
Yeah.
but then you have other stuff that is really kind of you just go crazy with the influences. There's rap, there's electronica,
Yeah.
there's all sorts in there. It must
Yeah.
be. I mean, that is, to me, I mean, I sing in a thrash metal band. I have for
Cool.
many many years, and
Cool.
there's there's a limit to what to where you can go with your music, but
Yeah.
it must be so refreshing to be able to like dip your toes into stuff like electronica and really kind of just experiment.
Yeah. I would hate to be just tied down to one thing. And a lot of the bands I look up to have done that thing as well. Like Refused, Shape of Funk to Come. That's a lot of genres in there,
Yeah,
not just hardcore.
yeah.
And the latest Turnstile album too.
Oh
The,
wow, yeah,
there's some hardcore in there, but there's also a lot of so many other stuff. And
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I like if a record can be like a journey, so you can go through different moods and different feelings throughout the record. And doing that in only one genre, difficult and maybe not as refreshing either.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's true, and I also I've said this a few times, but Turnstile it remind me of they're like a hardcore version of the Deftones.
Yeah, well said. Or a Weezer with breakdowns.
Where the fuck did you get that from?
I saw that online somewhere and died when I saw it. It's so I love Turnstile, but it's so spot on.
That's brilliant. Yeah, that is absolutely brilliant. Now, yeah, they're a they're a really interesting example actually
Mm,
of not being restricted, within the genre. But I think if you are going to do that, you've got to do it like almost from day one. Their first album
yeah,
is a kind of hit you between the eyes hardcore album, and then
yeah,
straight away they start proving we're not
mm,
just going to stick to this. Bit like the
yeah,
Deftones.
yeah. Because Deftones do what they want to.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
And are you? I mean, the way you've evolved with Blood Command, um, it's. I always have this theory that when you find a band, it's their most recent album that you that if I find a band through a recent album, which was your most recent album, World Domination, that's what, and then it's kind of like you meet a band at that point and you then go with them. It's not
Yeah,
often that I
yeah,
can go into the back catalogue and you go, oh right, this is when they weren't quite as good.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Sometimes you
not
find
I'm not saying that about Blood Command, by the way. I don't want to end the
no,
interview.
yeah, but that's true though. But some bands have some older jams, like say Deftones. If you
Yeah,
started to listening to Deftones now, there's some fucking gold there. But the best one is Around the Fur and White Pony. And
dude.
I would
Yeah.
think, and I think for a new listener, that would be the same, like listening to that opener, both of those openers. Like, come on.
Yeah, oh God, man. I'm now gonna have to play it as soon as we finish the interview.
Same.
Yeah, yeah. That is I remember hearing it for the first time. It hadn't
Yeah.
come out yet.
Whoa.
And there used to be a venue in London called the Astoria, which
Yeah.
was which is fucking amazing. I managed to actually got to play there twice, which was
Fuck
brilliant as
yeah.
well, with Exodus and Flotsam and Jetsam. And we I heard it through the PA when I was there to see, I think it was Pitch Shifter.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
yeah, on the pitchshifter.com album, which was way ahead of its time.
Yeah. Pitch
Still fucking
Shifter
brilliant.
have not got the recognition they deserve.
No,
Fucking good
nowhere near,
band. Yeah.
nowhere near.
Mm.
And I was at that show, and um, they played the first track from, I can't remember what it's called, but the first track from Around the Fur. And I was
My
just
Own
like,
Summer.
who? That's it. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, who the fuck is this? Then Chino comes in and goes, look, all right, it's the Deftones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a fucking awesome band, man. Awesome.
Yeah. One
So,
of them, yeah.
so your musical journey, if I'm correct, started sort of from like releases, starts back in 2008, 2009. Is that about right?
With Blood Command, yeah. But I've done music since 2001, I think, too. Yeah.
Right. How old were you
Like
then?
my first punk tour, like going overseas to Germany from Norway, was I was 15 years old. And it was I left on Christmas Eve. And I told my mom the day on the 23rd, the day before, that I'm not going to be home on Christmas this year because I'm going touring. So that was, of course, a big shock. And then they, of course, said no first, but I managed to discuss my way out of it.
So at 15 years old, I mean, is school not a thing over there at that age?
It is, but I ditched a lot of school.
And
Yeah.
and your parents let you?
Well, they didn't always knew, but I've gotten a lot of shit for that. But I've been living off music for 14 years now. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
It,
fine.
yeah, it's worked out in the end.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's yeah, it's kind of, I think you find, I mean, I kind of, I wouldn't say, well, I certainly didn't go on tour, but I started in Acid Rain when I was 15.
yeah. Okay.
And we, you know, we ended up signing a deal when I was 17. So
Wow.
we were, and we, so we, like, we, you know, we recorded our first album when I was in 87 when I was 17.
Oh shit.
And yeah, I know you weren't alive then, were you?
No, 85 is when I born December 85.
Ah, right, okay. So
But
yeah, yeah,
I was 2 years old then. But shit, doing a record in 87, that's something else than doing a record now, I would guess, like in
oh,
terms of expectations and how few people got to do it. Because now, not everyone, but almost everyone can do it.
yeah, yeah. It was the old uh record labels of the tastemakers. You know,
Yeah,
they decide who lives and who dies, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Whose dreams come true and whose die. And
yeah. Yeah,
yeah. Um, but yeah, completely different. To give you some idea, especially you being a producer, and I mean, I'm sure you're aware of this, but the first album, which is a mini album, which is something nobody makes anymore.
yeah.
Um, so we did a mini album, and it was in a 16 track studio,
Okay.
and the desk was like, you can't see my room, but it was about half the width of the room. I
Yeah,
mean,
okay,
you know,
yeah.
it's a big old desk.
Big ass shit, yeah.
Yeah, so to do a final mix, because you had to do a live mix to tape.
Yeah.
So you literally crayon mark the sliders as to, and the faders as to where they'd need to go, and it would take two or three of us. So it'd be like the producer, the engineer, and a couple of band members, all stood in
Yeah,
different
yeah.
places. So you've got to move this fader to that mark at this
At
point
that
in the
point,
song.
yeah, shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You would feel so dumb when there was some error if you forgot to turn the slider up or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you'd have to abandon the mix halfway through. You'd be like, "Oh, I fucked it up. Sorry.
Oh
Right,
shit.
back to the beginning."
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't swap it for anything. I mean, the first, you know, we first tour. Well, put it this way, we put out 4 albums over a period of 3 years. That's not bad
Shit.
going.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Really
yeah. So
hardcore.
from 88 to 91, we actually, well, we put a mini album out, two full length albums, and a full length compilation.
Shit.
And every tour we ever did was in a tour bus.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
you
So
released a trash album in 1987.
1988, that's when it
Was
came out.
still pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, as we signed to Music for Nations, Metallica had just left to go to a major label.
Oh shit.
So yeah, so they'd put out so Music for Nations put out Master of Puppets and everything, and
Shit.
we signed about 3 months after Metallica left.
Whoa.
And yeah, I know.
So
And
you,
look what happened to
yeah.
them. You know what I mean? Never
Yeah.
heard of again.
You were there when it happened. Pretty cool.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, but
Yeah.
also the old days of tape trading, like the underground, like, you know, trading hardcore demos and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Which, funnily enough, so I want to pick up on something you said there about back in the day when not everyone got to do it, but nearly I was amazed at when I was scrolling through, and when I found you guys, I was amazed when I was scrolling through Spotify and listening to some stuff. I was like, this is one person. It's just, do you know what I mean? It's like it's a band name, but it's just there's just one name, and there's no other there's no other credited artists or you know, or musicians. And I'm thinking, well, of course, because back
Wow.
in the day that would have been really hard to do.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but why? Why wouldn't you? Yeah, if you've got
Yeah,
if you can program drums, you can play everything, you can sing, you can stick it all out under a band
yeah,
name, get an online distributor, boom,
yeah.
it's up there.
It's very, very easy to do that now too.
Yeah.
Like with Rap Law, that's been so easy to do. Just for that first record, we recorded in one day. We wrote and recorded in one day.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah,
Wrote and recorded it in one
yeah,
day.
yeah. We made it on the spot. It was just okay. Let's
Wow.
do it because that was like we wanted to do it kind of like Dogma-ish with it was to be recorded live with drums and guitar. We wanted to record it with bass too, but that didn't work, so we had to record bass after, and then we put on vocals. So yeah, that was just an experiment, kind of, and it worked out pretty well. So
I mean, yeah. Now I know why it's called "This Is Not a Record."
yeah,
Yeah, this is not an album. Clearly,
yeah,
it's an experiment.
yeah. So yeah, that's just a lot of after party jokes coming together, and of course, like making fun of the black metal stuff. I know a lot of the black metal guys in Bergen. Like I bump into Gal all the time. I'm in a band with Icedale from Enslaved. The singer Gutla used to be a bouncer at my favorite bar. Even have thrown me out a million times. Yeah. So this is a pretty small city. So all the musicians kind of know each other. Kind of like I bump into Abbat from time to time. Yeah.
And do we? And they're all cool with you taking the piss.
I don't know if they know. I don't know if they know yet. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna show Icedale soon. Like, I have there's one song on the album called "Big Dastril," and Enslaved have a song called Yggdrasil, which is some what's that? Some Viking belief stuff. It's this tree of life or something, I think.
Yeah.
The Nordic word for tree of life. And our title is it's almost like that, but it means you're some redneck from some village people.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of I don't know what they're gonna think of it, but they should have some humor. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
not.
well,
It's,
black metal, the genre that's famous for its humor.
yeah, yeah. Well, they take themselves a little bit too seriously, so they need this, I think.
Well, I think when you take yourself too seriously, you set yourself up to have the piss taken out of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No,
Everyone
I mean,
needs to, yeah,
chill out.
yeah.
Yeah. It's well, if you don't, you end up burning churches or something stupid like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So yeah, it's probably best to just chill out. Um and I don't know if you're aware of this, but I was doing a bit of research, which is very unlike me.
yeah.
Um and I found a song, believe it or not, called um where are we? It's called um oh God, where is it? There we are. It's called "Get Blazed in the Northern Sky,"
Oh,
and,
got
and the
called by
band is
lawyers.
and the band is called Angry Norwegian.
No.
Yeah, yeah. And the song, and guess what? It's 4 seconds long.
No, oh fuck! Someone has beat me to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just found it, and I just thought, oh my God, I got to tell you about this. That's
But is it
brilliant.
also grindcore or is it like heavy?
I tell you what. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to share it with you now. I'm going to play it
Okay.
to you. So this is a treat for you, listeners. I'm now going to share it with you, the whole 4 seconds of it. Okay, here we go. That's it.
You're fucking kidding me.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, I'm dying. Yeah. Yeah.
That is superb. So yeah, that's it. That's it. But
Where did you find this? Did you make this? Is angry Norwegian you?
yeah, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'll tell you what, I'll see if I can I'll see if I can send you a link, because I found it on a site which I use occasionally to try and find songs. I do a radio show, so if there's something that's not in my collection, I'll try and
No.
I'll try and use a site that um that's basically royalty free tracks that have been made available.
Okay. Cool.
And it's on there.
Nice.
So I know. I'm like, okay, fine, that's fine. But yeah, I didn't think you'd be aware of that.
No.
But I read an interesting piece that you mentioned about one of the songs on the album,
Yeah.
about being a type of Norwegian bread.
Oh yeah. I don't know how it translates. It's called kneipe in Norwegian, and it's invented in Germany.
And it's
And
bread that made that to stop you wanking. I don't think we have a translation for that.
no. Yeah, it was to stop the big problem in society at the time, 18 something, that was masturbation. So
Wow.
this bread was invented by Doctor Doctor Kneipp to prevent you from jerking off. And what were you going to say then? Of course, you say, "Oh, does it work, Mister Heimlock?" Yeah, 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 yeah. You don't say no, no, no. Still pulling
Yeah.
it.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, easy, good business plan. Smart man, this Doctor Knipe.
Yeah, clearly. Clearly. That's just that is ridiculous. So and is that so is that a bread that you could get in Norway? That is like, is this a bread from your childhood or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's the reference on of that title is to when there's some interviewer, I don't know who it is. Is it that Best guy, maybe? Uh, asks Mayhem. No, they ask Dark Throne what they think about the music of Dimmu Borgir. And then they say, cake is good. Cake is good sometimes, but for your everyday needs, you need knife. And we
Right.
are knife. Knife. So that's the title is a reference to that interview.
It's a reference to
To two
Dark,
things, yeah.
yeah, Dark Throne, very very subtly putting down Dimmu Borgir's music.
Yeah.
Basically calling it dessert, whereas we're the main course.
Yeah, well, not exactly the main chorus like that, but like what you need from day to day basis. Like Kneipp is very dense and very. It's not something you would make sandwich. You make sandwich maybe, but eating breakfast bread. That's what it is. You wouldn't have it for Sunday breakfast. You would have it for Monday breakfast.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Right. I get it. I get it. So, oh, hang on. I'm starting to think. Is it a bit like Lammas bread from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. You have like two mouthfuls and it fills you up for the entire day.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, that's what it is though. One, two slices of that, and you're full long.
Well, actually, now I think about it, there's not many masturbation scenes in Lord of the Rings, so
You're right.
clearly there's
There's Exhibit A.
yeah. There's a big connection there. There's a big connection there. Um, so this might be a kind of redundant question. Well, it kind of is. It's the kind of stupid question that everybody asks you. But so apologies. Rat Lord. Why Rat Lord?
Guess you have seen the screenshot or whatever. Someone selling battery T-shirts
Right.
and selling it on eBay, and but they brand it as Rat Lord because the battery logo looks like Rat Lord.
Ah,
Looks
right.
like it
Okay.
says Rat Lord, and it's old job. People misreading that logo as Bat Lord and Rat Lord, and
Right. Okay. I
so
get it.
the band name stems from that thing, and also the true Rat Lord is the cats, and I'm a big cat person. I love cats.
Oh wow. Well, funnily enough, I'm a big I'm a big fan of cats, and
Cool.
as you could probably tell because I've got some scars on my arm.
Do you have
This is,
kittens or?
well, this is my girlfriend's cat,
Yeah, okay.
um, who get on really well with, but it has cat dementia. Um,
Okay. So he
yeah,
forgets you.
yeah, that was my reaction when she told me as well, and that earned me a slap. Um, but as I said to her, well, the only advantage of the cat having cat dementia
Yeah.
is now both of us have got no fucking idea why she scrapped my arm. Because I do like cats, but yeah. Well, funnily enough, I looked up. I decided to try and find out what possible reasons why your band might be called Rat Lord, and
Yeah.
I happened to stray across Urban Dictionary,
Yeah.
and in Urban Dictionary, these are the definitions. So the first definition is one sick fuck.
Yeah.
The second definition is pure shit.
Yes.
The third definition is someone that disgusts all by physical appearance alone.
Yes. Yes.
The, the fourth definition is a grotesque motherfucker.
Yeah.
And the fifth definition is smelly bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. They're fitting men.
Yeah, yeah. I was reading it. I was like, oh man, it's got to have something to do with it. Of course, it doesn't. And then there's examples of how you use it. Like I love Urban Dictionary. There's examples of how
Yeah.
you use it. Like that Adam is one fucking rat lord son of a bitch. So yeah, basically, it's an insult,
Yeah.
which I absolutely love. So I've just kept on learning. Found your band, found Blood Command, found what Rat Lord means in Urban
That's
Dictionary.
good
Um,
weekend for you.
yeah, yeah, Knight bread. I mean, I've learned how to say
Yeah.
Yngve. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a learning weekend for me. Every day's a school day, even at the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but to go back to your sort of formative days starting out in music,
Mm.
when did you start to think, this is weird, I sound like I'm interviewing a sports person, when did you think you could really become a professional footballer? When did you think that you think like, wow, I'm actually, I know I'm good at this, but can I earn a living from it? Can I be a professional? Or was that not a goal? Did it just happen?
It
What was
was
your story?
never a goal. But I remember first time I got like a payout that was like £1,000 or something. And I was pretty young at the time, so I of course thought, okay, this is just gonna keep on coming.
Yeah.
This is my life now. And that was pretty early. I guess it was like 17 or 18 or something. And I remember first time I saw someone had tattooed my band name on them. So that was when I knew, like, okay, people can really like what I do.
Wow. Right. So it took someone tattooing your band name on them to go like, oh right, we must be good.
Yeah, well, that was pretty early on though. That was like I think it was some Document's first EP. But I don't think that was released yet. We had just had some demos out online and something. So that was a pretty crazy thing to do. Either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, from then on, I think. Yeah, what was that? I don't know. But I never planned to make a living out of it. No, or never planned to make it my day job or anything. I think that's maybe been my secret weapon too, because I've never been expecting it. It just happened.
Yeah.
And like a domino effect. Of course, skills and stuff plays a big role too, but being the right person at the right time at the right place means it's important too.
Yeah, yeah, you're very close to saying that phrase that I think applies within the music business as much as, well, entertainment industry in general, which is the best ability to have is availability.
Yeah, but it is.
You know, being at the right place at the right time. But
Mm.
also, I think, you know, people say it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's about being the right place, the right time. But, you know, all of that you could call luck. But by the same
Yeah,
stroke, I think you make your own luck.
yeah. You do kind of do, and who know? Fuck that. If you're not good, if you're not
Yeah,
good, you don't have a chance.
yeah,
Taylor Swift is not where she is because she knows the right people. She is where she is because she has some banging songs and a very good marketing eye.
yeah, yeah. And she's managed to maintain. God, I didn't think we were going to end up talking about Taylor Swift, but fuck it, here we go. But, yeah, thrash metal singer and hardcore singer and guitarist talking about how good Taylor Swift is. This is the podcast no one knew they needed. um, but yeah, she's retained that kind of a very down to earth persona. I've seen some footage of her live shows, and between songs, the way she speaks to the audience reminds me of how Hetfield speaks to a stadium.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. True.
Which is if you're in that stadium, you think, oh, he's talking to me.
Yeah, that's my friend. And
Yes.
that's what you want to, not some from above to like not talking down to you, but like
Yeah.
we're all friends there. That's what you want.
Yeah, just grounded
Mm.
and like I think I saw her say she was like, oh, it's great to see you guys dance. God, you're really good at dancing, aren't you? I
Mm.
love watching you dance to my
Yeah,
songs. And it's like,
yeah,
hang on, like that's the kind of thing you say when you've done 3 gigs,
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah,
when you're
yeah.
a
Yes.
jaded musician
Yeah, yeah,
albums in.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And I think it's that sort of I don't want to call it naivety, but that sort of freshness, that the fact that she still appreciates the little things.
Yeah, down to earth attitude.
Yes, yeah, hardcore.
Yeah, hardcore.
Yeah, she needs to do an album. She needs to do an album full of 1 minute tunes.
Yeah, yeah. She would nail that though.
1 minute pop bangers. Try that.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. That's it. Rat Lord's cousin. Yeah, you
Yeah.
do like
Related
1 minute pop
artists.
bangers. That's impossible. Um, but funnily enough, when you were talking about writing shorter songs, I think it's harder. I think it's way
Yeah,
harder to
yeah,
write
yeah,
short songs
yeah, 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 yeah.
because you don't get to. It's like the longer the song is, the more you know you get to change moods, and it's
Yeah,
like, right,
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
nice
yeah.
pre-chorus. But when it's short, you've got to
Get to
you get to the point. Yeah,
get to the point. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's get in, make your point, get out.
Mm.
Yeah, that must have been really, really refreshing after, like, you know, working on Blood Command and touring the last album and all the rest of it, to then come and do Rat Lord must have been
Yeah,
refreshing.
it is very refreshing, and it's very shoulders down. Like nothing really matters. Like Bloodcommon is fun too, so fun. But this is like just fun. No one is
Yeah.
waiting for it. No, there's no label to. Like, I run Loyal Records, which will release it on. So me also being the label boss, of course, I'm not giving us shit for not
Oh,
delivering
well, I'll tell
mastering
you
and stuff.
what, I'm going to give you shit because the link on your Instagram that is
Whoa.
for merch. So I went there to buy merch. I looked to the link and
Mm.
there's nothing there.
Yeah, it's sold out.
Hey,
Uh,
congrats, man. That's yeah. Well, let's look, when merch is selling out, then that is like, yeah, that's cool, because that's all got to help. Fit, you can't beat a bit of, shifting a bit of physical product.
yeah, no, that's we've been blessed with that. So we're gonna put up more. We only had that T-shirt for with the motive for the first album. What we're gonna obviously make the new album into a shirt as well.
Cool.
So yeah,
Yeah. Well,
people must.
I've just realized, of course, you're a big fan of Cats.
Yeah.
The fucking album cover.
Yeah. I'm
So
a
how many?
cat person now.
Yeah. So how many do you have?
I have only one.
Right.
I have had cats all my life. I had one for 18 years.
Wow.
It was called Cedric after the driving guy.
Brilliant.
So he was with me for 18 years. It was really hard when he passed away.
Yeah. Well, they're family members.
Yeah, they are fellow, especially after that long time though. I have one now I had for 6 years called Purra. It's a very sweet cat. Yeah,
Uh,
I need my cats.
yeah. And so who looks after them when you're away?
My girlfriend Sophia.
Ah, right. Okay. So not
So
left all alone.
no, I'm in a pretty good position.
That's awesome, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome. And I was also going to ask, is it kind of like a blood command? Obviously, your singer is Australian.
yeah,
Um, does she is she living in Bergen as well, or
yeah. Well, she lived in Bergen for a year, and then she found a boyfriend in Oslo, so now she lives in Oslo. But Oslo is just 1 hour with plane,
right, okay,
so
so
it's no problem. Previous singers have lived in Oslo as well, in
yeah.
Gothenburg, and yeah. So she lives in Norway. Yeah, it would be very expensive if she lived in Australia.
Yeah,
Flying
yeah.
to Europe every weekend.
Yeah, yeah, and it doesn't really foster a good band relationship, does it?
No,
When
no.
it's like, you're tracking an album and she's sending like vocal tracks from Australia, and then
Yeah,
you haven't tried to criticize her, like, and they say,
yeah.
can you do that again, but do it like this? And it's like, it's the
No,
middle of the
fuck,
night over here.
fuck no. We did that with we had the first album she was on, Praise Armageddonism, which was the album prior to World Domination.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Done my homework. Listen to that as well.
with that one, we tracked over Skype like this. And
Right.
and then I was awake. It was 2 at night to 10 in the morning, I think, for
Oh,
me,
mate.
because of time differences. It was okay by me. I just had a lot of joints and beers, and yeah, I sat there and listened to the takes, and no, do that over again. No, and it was a tech down there, really talented man called what is his name? Callum.
That's a very Australian name. Yeah.
Yeah, Callum.
Right there, Callum.
He does a lot of Australian metalcore bands and stuff. Dream on Dreamer and stuff. I think he's the man down there. So he was doing all the tech stuff, and he's really talented. So it was very, very easy to do that actually. But it's not the same as being in the same room now. That
Yeah.
is something completely else. Then you can really get into the details, and that's what you want.
Yeah, yeah. We're working on a new album at the moment, and we've reached that stage where two of us have basically put a bunch of songs together. But you get to a point where you're discussing, like, well, do we need to do this? Do it? And one of you goes, "This is something we'll figure out in a room."
Yeah.
We've got as far as we can with this. We're just gonna. It's just two of us picking at it.
Okay.
It needs more ears to it, and it needs, the drummer needs to be on it and feel
Yeah.
it, and you know what it's like. It's like you might decide on a BPM for a track, and then you all get in a room and play it and go, well, that's fucking wrong.
Yeah.
It sounds fine, but then you
Yeah.
play it and it's like, ugh, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so yeah, like you say, you can't beat getting in the room and everybody like working on stuff and pulling it
No.
apart. Yeah.
No. Like both stuff works and doesn't work, I think. Sometimes being several chefs in the kitchen just ruins the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like everyone can't have an opinion about the thing because not everyone have the same vision, right? You can't be several visionaries with different
Yeah.
visions and get to the same place. That's impossible. So, but sometimes you need those extra airs, yeah, because what you hear is not the same as something else hears. So
Yeah.
you need both. There's no blueprint to get the perfect song.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's many people have been telling me always, oh, but real music is when you do this. Real music is when you do this. You have to be. Real music only happens with when several people joins each other in a room. No, no.
Those days are gone.
Yeah, yeah, but real music can also happen with one guy on his guitar or
Yeah.
one guy on his piano,
Yeah.
girl or whatever. Yeah.
I remember a producer I know saying to me once, and it was actually in the studio with a band who will remain nameless,
Yeah.
and there was some arguments going on, and he just sat them down and just said, "Look, you are lucky enough to have a member with a vision.
Yeah.
So all the rest of you, your job is to make that vision come to life
Yeah.
because you're lucky enough to be in a band
Whoa.
with someone who has a vision, because that's why you're here recording, because bands who don't have anybody without a vision aren't getting fucking signed, aren't putting
Whoa.
albums out."
Truest shit I ever heard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. He was just like, oh, he's great. He's absolutely
Yeah.
great. But I'll tell you off air the band he was the band he
Yeah.
was working with,
Yeah.
because you will know them.
Yeah, I'm curious now.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, famous for arguing and rowing and stuff.
Oh, it's
And
Metallica, yeah?
no,
No, it's
no,
not.
no.
Oasis.
I will tell you. I promise.
It's the Oasis.
No, no, no. No, it's heavy genre, and even if you say the right one, I'm gonna have to say no, or
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
or yes, and bleep it out. But yeah, it is. It's like as you said, if too many cooks
Yeah.
spoil the broth. If you
Yeah.
have, because what happens as well is that um people start pulling different ways,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
and egos start getting damaged.
Yeah. People want it to be about themselves, right? And that doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can't always, yeah. Everyone can't play a solo, right? Because that
Yeah.
would be very
Oh,
boring.
and yeah, I'm in a thrash metal band. Hey, there's no solo in this song. What?
Yeah, then the song is pointless for the guitarist. Yeah, why
Yeah.
does this song even exist?
What? I've got to keep my ego in a box for a whole song. That's not fair.
But then,
Yeah.
like with Drew, that's a classic drummer thing. When I produce drums, and with our own drummer as well, he's the best drummer I ever know. But every drummer want to put in so many. What is it called in English?
Fills,
Not
drum fills.
drum fills, yeah.
Yeah.
Drum fills fucking everywhere because if they don't, that means people gonna think they're bad at drumming.
Yeah.
But when I think you're bad at drumming, it's when you do this
Yeah.
every time instead of
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
It's like some drummers, not yours, and not ours. We're obviously talking about other
Yeah,
drummers.
yeah, other drummers.
But they're drumming to impress. They're not doing what the song needs. They're drumming to impress other drummers.
Yeah, they're drum friends.
Yes,
Yes.
drum friends.
So they don't get
That's good.
so they don't get shit next time they take bears
Yeah,
together.
yeah. They want them to go. Hey, I really like what did you do there? Oh
Yeah,
well, I'll let me show you.
yeah,
You
it
know.
was shit. I tell you, it ruined the song.
Yeah. Well, two examples of drummers who hold back on fills for me that I always reference
Yeah,
are Igor Cavaliera in Sepultura when he was in
yeah,
Sepultura, and Dave Lombardo.
yeah.
It's like fills when there's a need
When
for
there's
them,
yeah,
but you listen to the verse, there's nothing
yes,
going on.
yeah. But that's what you want, though.
Yeah.
That's what you can't have too much stuff going on. Listen to prog band or be in a prog band if that's what that's what you want.
Oh God, yeah. Being a pro, you can just do a drum solo for 9 minutes, call it a song. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, get in trouble for saying that with all the prog fans. Just like, nah,
Yeah.
it's like Tool's last album. I mean, yeah, polyrhythms and all the rest of it, but there's a fine line between prog and falling asleep on the fucking
Yeah,
job.
yeah. That Tool stuff is not for me.
No, no,
It's not for me. Bless those
no.
who like it, but it's not for me.
Yeah, the thing is, the weird thing with Tool is I realize that it's my fault. It's my fault, the disappointment I feel, because they haven't actually been the band I love for fucking years.
You're into
Yeah.
Tool.
Yes. I mean, my Tool era
Yeah.
is like Amina, Anima, whatever that
Okay.
fucking album's called.
Yeah.
That is an absolutely fantastic record.
Yeah.
There is some good songs on other Tool albums,
Mm.
but mainly they've just left me with a sense of disappointment, really.
Yeah.
And let's face it, if you're going to wait 15 albums to put an album out, it's going to disappoint.
Yeah. Yeah, unless your daughters though.
Ah,
Daughters came with an album in 2018 called You, and it's called such a good title because they changed their style and everything for this one. And the album is called You Won't Get What You Want.
brilliant.
And that's what none of the fans got what they wanted. It was something completely else, but it was one of the best albums I've heard since.
Right. Well,
Triple
I'm going.
Pronto comes. Yeah.
Well, after I've played around the fur, I am then going to move on to Daughters, because guess what? This is a familiar refrain. Yeah, never heard of them. So
No, okay, well then you're in for a fucking treat.
really,
I hope like if you can like the weirdness of Tool, I think you can enjoy the weirdness of Daughters because it is weird.
right?
It's not
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. It's,
Oh right.
yeah.
It's not Rat Lord.
No, no, it's nothing. Have nothing to do with Rat Lord. But it's a fucking good band. And it should be said, though, the singer have some allegations on him, so I don't. Yeah,
Well,
keep that in mind if you don't separate the artist from the art.
dude, we must be the only two singers that don't have any allegations against us. I think it's
yeah. And especially in the pop punk hardcore community, there's so much. Every
yeah.
pop punk singer have some allegations on them.
Yeah, it's and bearing in mind that we were around in the 80s when there was no phones and
Yeah,
you could pretty much do what you
yeah.
fucking like.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm in fact I'm a little disappointed there's no allegations about me.
Disappointed, yeah.
I obviously didn't make the most of the 80s, really. Damn it.
Well, you should be proud though, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
A good side to be on.
Look, Yngve, I've really enjoyed this, man. This has been I can't thank you enough. Thanks for being so generous with your time.
Well, thank you for having me on.
No, not at all. So easy to get hold of you, and honestly, dude, I'm going to be playing Ratlord and Blood Command and Daughters and Deftones back to back for like about the next week. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing, man, because you're putting out
Thanks.
so much cool music. It's absolutely wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Oh man, my pleasure. And Ratlord, dude, that really took me back in the day. And do
Fuck
you know
yeah.
what? I'd kick myself if I didn't mention some of those huge fucking New York hardcore backing vocals you've got going on there.
Yeah.
I've
Thanks.
got to find out what the profile you're using on the delay or the reverb or whatever is, how you got it, because it's
Yeah.
fucking perfect.
Thanks. I met Agnostic Front this summer actually.
Oh, really?
I met Vinny Stigma. It was pretty cool.
Wow. I mean, he's like the godfather of all New York hardcore guitar
Yeah,
players.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that
That's
was a
awesome.
big moment there.
Did you meet Roger as well?
No, I only met Vinny briefly.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
it was fun.
it's not every day you get to meet a legend, is it?
No, met Chino too, because we played with Deftones in Australia
Cool.
on the summer tour. No, 2022, and then Chino came over to me and asked me for a light. And I'm a really big Deftones fan, so I of course started fanning out at once. But I regret doing that though,
Oh man.
because I guess Fino hears that stuff every day, don't you think? Like, I'm such a fan, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but but also but I do think it means more coming from other musicians.
Yeah, but I don't think he knew I was a musician. I was just a guy at the airport.
Oh, right. Oh, right. So this was just at the airport.
Yeah, because all the artists were on the same flight. All the artists was on the same flights, so I
Right.
just met them outside. And next time that happens, something like that happens, I'm just gonna talk about the weather and stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I started my interview with I interviewed Fish from Marillion.
Okay.
Um and he's pretty much my like without him I would never have thought I would never have got in a band. I mean basically
Okay.
I fell in love with the lyrics, his between song repertoire, and it just he's my number one influence.
Okay.
Um, and I met him to do an interview, and I told him all of that up front, and his response was this.
Oh no.
His response was this.
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. I got nothing back. Now,
No.
don't get me wrong. We had a brilliant interview. He was absolutely lovely. We got on really well. He put me on the guest list so I could meet a friend of mine that he knew as well that I hadn't seen for 10 years that was coming to his gig the following night, and we got to hang out, and he's just such a lovely, lovely bloke. Give me a big
Yeah,
hug at the end of the night. I
yeah,
nearly disappeared into his overcoat because he's
yeah.
fucking massive. But when I said that, it was one of the first things I said, and he just looked at me like, what do you want from me?"
But I guess he heard that all. I heard that all the day though, every day.
Yeah, yeah. And also, I kind of you kind of don't want to get that from an interviewer. You want
Yeah,
somebody kind of just like a little bit more on the level, a little bit more like, right, here we go. This is work. This is professional.
yeah, and I
You know,
guess it means a lot too. But if you hear it every day, you probably grow immune to. And I guess it's you'd only have this many like, oh wow, shit. Do you? Even though if that's how you feel, I guess that's not how you're gonna react every time.
but also I think like Chino is big for you. Fish is big for me.
Mm.
I couldn't stop myself.
Yeah, me same. Unless I have to take this chance, I need a photo. But then I thought, oh, poor guy was coming here to, I guess, get away from all the other fans.
Yeah, he comes over to get a light, and he ends up paying the price with
Yeah,
yeah,
Punisher.
Yeah, Punisher wants a selfie. Jeez, all I wanted was a light for my fucking cigarette. Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, look, mate. Well, seriously, I'm gonna fanboy on you again, but seriously, I mean, wow. Like I said, 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Saturday morning. I'd never heard of anything you do. Here we are, Sunday.
That's pretty
We
cool,
chatted
huh?
for an hour. I love what you do, man, and
Thanks so
just
much.
keep on doing it. Keep on doing it.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thanks a lot, dude. Catch you
Yeah.
later.
Bye.
Bye bye.